everyone, and a very warm welcome to everyone joining us today on EduTV. I am Parvati Suresh, a student of Delhi Public School, Bangalore East, and I'm honored to host this meaningful and timely conversation on pathways and twinning programs in undergraduate education. We are joined today by two distinguished education leaders, Mr. Amol Vaidya, Senior Director at Global Indian International Schools, and Ms. Shalini Gambar, Director Admissions and Outreach at Kedge Business School and Affiliate Campus at Vijaybhoomi University. I thank both of you for being here today.
Thank you, Parvati, for having us.
Thank you. So let's dive into our conversation. My first question is to Mr. Amol. Sir, to begin with, could you please explain to our student audience what pathway programs and twinning programs are and how they function in undergraduate education space?
Can you elaborate further on the question, please? Because the answer is in your own question. So elaborate further.
Okay, being a student myself, this is something that's little new to me. So me and of course many of my classmates and friends would like to know how are these pathway programs and twinning programs implemented in our courses and how will they help us develop the skills that are required?
So, generally we recommend that the identification of skills that can be bettered or perfected in a child has to happen in the grade 7, 8. Okay, because not all children have the same skill sets, nor do they have the same inclination to pursue those skill sets. Having a skill is one thing, having the desire or inclination to pursue it is another thing. So that is where the school has to step in. First, identify what the child can do better, and then encourage the child to work to her or his strengths. There, the balancing between the family expectation, the child's expectation, and the skill set which are inherent in the child, that balancing has to be done. Otherwise, the student will commit her time to something which she may not pursue in future. Okay, and we see a lot of drop-off happening like this. And that is what I understand building pathways is all about. Then the school or the ecosystem, which involves also the family, has to create those opportunities which the child can focus on to nurture her own ambitions and aspirations as a future identity. Okay. Have I answered your question, Parvati?
Yes. Thank you so much. My next question is to Ms. Shalini, ma'am. Ma'am, how does Kedge Business School implement these models through its affiliate campus at Vijaybhoomi University? And what makes this approach attractive for Indian students?
Okay. Thanks for the question, Parvati. It's a nice concept of having twinning and pathway programs. So at Kedge Business School, Mumbai, which is at Vijaybhoomi University, we offer unique pathway models, like a student can do 2+2, that means 2 years in India and 2 years in France, can do integrated masters, which means he can complete 4 years UG, 5 years UG and PG, and it's his choice whether he want to do 4 years in India or 2+2. But last year of integrated masters has to be in France. That means his masters will be completed in France itself. Now, this a student can do transition from Kedge one campus Mumbai to Kedge France in the remaining 2 years after doing 2 years in India. This structure gives them access to a top 1% global accredited business school, while saving significantly on cost and easing the academic and cultural transition. So for Indian students, it's safe, I should say, it's structured and globally relevant way to access international education. And keeping in mind the geopolitical scenario these days, it is really safe for the parents also. Parents feel really secure if a student is close to them, close to home for good 2 years, and keeping in mind the situation going around in different parts of the world, war situation, they can send it after 2 years or maybe after 3 years, keeping obviously depending on their pockets as well. And after 12th, a parent always thinks student is not mature enough. So it allows to a parent also to discover how a student can take their own responsibility. Right?
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for that answer. My next question is to Mr. Anmol, sir. So, from your experience in school education, why should students and their parents consider such programs as an alternative to traditional undergraduate degrees in India?
Like, populations, especially in tier 1, tier 2 cities in India, is definitely looking out of India. Okay. And in the interconnected world that we are all living in, the best thing that India can export is intelligent, trained manpower. Okay. And I'll give you a different kind of example for you to understand. Like we run an Indian curriculum school in Japan, Tokyo. Okay. Now, when we started the school about 15 years ago, it was started for Indian diaspora. All those Indians who have migrated to Japan as software professionals or bankers, technology people kind of thing. Today, 75% students in that school are Japanese. And now Indian parents complain that there are more Japanese in the school than Indians. Now, when we ask the Japanese parents, why are you sending your child to the Indian curriculum, CBSE school? Their logic is, we are a small country, but industrious country. And we know that our children will most probably, if they are working, will be working in some country other than Japan for their professional career. So we believe that India is the best choice for our children to be exposed to because Indians are good in English, mathematics, and science. Okay, that is the way Japanese are looking at it. Same way Germans are also looking at it. Conversely, Indian parents want their child to go out for larger economic reason, and therefore the pathways or training programs hold a lot of significance. Because one route is purely through, specialized institutions like engineering colleges or IITs or medical colleges. But not every child can go to a good engineering college, right? And therefore, these twinning programs in other subjects like humanities or psychology or maybe IT based courses or business management courses, these twin programs or pathways allow many more opportunities to be given to larger group of students. Because you look at how many students can become doctors. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 in a year across the country. How many seats are there in IITs? Not more than 50,000 seats, right? What will happen to those millions of students who will come out of grade 12? Not only in CBSE, plus also in the state boards. So these twinning programs hold a lot of value. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for that. And the next question is to Shalini, ma'am. Ma'am, could you please share a story or student story or an outcome from KEDGE Vijaybhoomi model that showcases the benefits of this international approach?
There are many because we started with 2+2 only. I'll share one. Okay. One of our students who joined the first cohort, she shared how India to Europe transition helped her build confidence. First thing, uh, she was academically well prepared because she knew what she's getting into. She was prepared for 2 years good in India about the environment in France, about the culture, everything. Already familiar with KEDGE pedagogy, right? Because we are using KEDGE curriculum here in India as well. So she integrated quickly into the global classroom. Today, she's pursuing her internship in France, building a network across continents, something that would have been far more overwhelming without this phased exposure. What else a parent and student want? Yeah. So we really feel proud when students tell us different stories, but this is one of them, obviously. But all together, every student has to say the similar thing while doing 2 years here in India. We were really prepared to go to France.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that with us. My next question is for both of you. Affordability, safety, and cultural transition are big concerns when it comes to studying abroad. How do these programs balance global exposure with those practical considerations? I would like to start with Amol, sir.
See, the preparation, as I said, Parvati, has to start early. And probably what is key is what other languages, international languages, the student learns. I know of certain schools in India where they teach German very early or French very early. Like in our campuses, we start French from kindergarten. Okay, because in Middle East, the second language after Arabic in most of the countries is French. Okay, international education otherwise happens in English. So child generally learns 3 or 4 languages, the mother tongue, English, French, and Arabic. Now, all these are major languages in the world. So if cultural challenge is going to be faced, I have known some children from my campus, vegetarian family, they were trained to eat non-veg, at least eggs or chicken, so that when they go to England, or some of them have gone to good universities in France or Germany, they'll not have handicap about food. So the cultural sensibility and sensitivity and opening up mind and not being rigid about how I behave or how I want to behave in a foreign country. Well, the worst thing that can happen to a student, I'll tell you an example. I knew of student who we sent from India to UK, very good university. He ends up in UK for undergrad course, and he's a pure Jain vegetarian. Okay, and he ends up living in a shared condo with 4 others. The first day he opens the refrigerator, there is a full, chunk of meat there right in the front. He ran away in 7 days. His father lost 30,000 pounds. University was not. They said we have, we don't have such kind of, refund policy. He lost 30,000 pounds. So that kind of sensitivity has to be nurtured. I mean, if you are not open and flexible on these kind of things, okay, then you will have a tough time. And that preparation starts very early in the school. It cannot be started late in colleges. That's what we focus on, as a school. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am?
So I completely agree with sir. These programs are designed to de-risk the global journey, right? Sir, but these days, a lot of colleges and university out of India, they offer Jan, veg, all kinds of foods, but provided a student has taken
It's not easy.
college accommodation.
It's not easy. I remember
it's not easy.
when the first batch was introduced about 6 years ago, we even taught them how to use the cutlery.
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen if you go to Europe is everybody is eating with fork and knife and you are eating by
True.
hand. So we have
And
started
Indians have a
those
habit of eating with hand, yeah.
we have started those classes from grade 6.
I can understand. So
Nobody, not many people know how many forks are there, how many types of knives are there,
true.
what is kept where, that the spoons are kept in one place, knives on another, forks are. So total 8, 9, 10. Nobody knows the difference between a tablespoon and a soup spoon. So all those things
Dining
have to
etiquettes,
absolutely. It's just a small thing. Go ahead.
But so this small thing helps student to settle in any country, actually.
Yeah, they don't look different. Otherwise, people
they
will
look,
gaze at you.
So, Parvati, as I said, these programs are designed to de-risk the global journey, but starting in India reduces the immediate pressure, financial pressure, cultural pressure. It allows families to support students closely during the initial year, like they are close to family, students share the daily challenges, and it helps families also to support student in learning new things. Even families learn a lot of things, right? And it helps them gradually adapt a Western academic environment, which I'm trying to say that families also adapt that kind of environment. So institutions like KEDGE, there are many more which are coming to India now. In coming 1 or 2 years, there are many more international universities who are who are in process of setting up their campuses in India. So institutions like KEDGE at Vijaybhoomi ensure robust student support, right? Career guidance and culturally responsive mentorship through the journey, which actually helps to balance the global exposure. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Then I'll move on to my next question. It's for both of you again. In your view, how are pathway and twinning programs reshaping the future of higher education in India? I think we'll start.
Ma'am, you can take that, Shalini.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, pathway and tuning programs reshaping, that's what you have asked?
Yeah, how is it helping students in higher education?
Higher education. Okay. According to me, these models are democratizing access to global education. They offer Indian students world-class exposure without the full financial or emotional burden, as I said earlier, also of a 4-year overseas degree, right? Which will actually help them in spending that money somewhere else also, or maybe it will help them financially by not taking student loans. They are also encouraging institutions in India to raise their standards, these programs, the pathway and training programs. And it creates international alliances also, making Indian campuses more global in both curriculum and culture wise. So it's a win-win situation, not only for students, but also for the international colleges as well. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So, would you like to give some inputs on this?
No, she has put it very, very aptly that it is democratization of learning opportunities. See, you have to understand that if typical channel has to be used, then only few of the select students who are excelling in their education will end up outside India. Life is much beyond doing your medical or engineering education. And I have known of students who did not pursue either medical or engineering, but have done very well for themselves in life. Okay. And those pathways were not available for those students to go and study outside India and get the experience of a larger world. Okay. Therefore, such programs have their own advantages, provided you choose well and you make best use of that. I know of a
True.
parent, who did not send his child to England, saying that, I don't want you to come back after spending 60 lakh rupees in 3 years and then tell me that I have done BCom from London. Okay, so the program has to be chosen well, and there has to be an end goal in mind. I mean, what do you want to do after the end of those 4 years of undergrad studies? Either you go into entrepreneurship or you go into higher education. So the end goal has to be kept in mind. Unless you want to, just give that experience to your child. That many business families do that. Let my child go and study couple of years in England and see how the world is all about and come back again anyway. उसको तो मेरे business में ही आके काम करना है ना, something like that. So if the end goal is very clearly understood and defined, identified, then these are very good opportunities to explore.
And it's not only for Indian students. So India being really open for other students also. Economically, it is really helping students from Bhutan, Nepal, Dubai, and many other such countries, Vietnam. We are getting inquiries from all these countries these days for Catch pathway programs because it is really economical. It helps students to understand the Indian culture as well as the European culture both. And from safety point of view also, parents really feel safe that students come to India, spend 2 years, and then go to any other country.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I think all those inputs were very insightful, especially being a student. I just have one last question to both of you. And what message would you like to give to a class 11 and 12 student who are currently exploring undergraduate options in India or abroad? One last message for those students.
Sir, you start.
Look, I'll be honest. I mean, she comes from DPS Bangalore, so I think DPS must have cracked it very early for her, maybe when she was in grade 8, 9. But generally speaking, what I have seen in other 2 and 3 tier cities is children are more influenced by what their parents wish them to do. Okay. And the nature of jobs is changing dramatically. Okay. And therefore, I would rather focus on allowing that, requesting that student like you to keep mind open, be learnable, keep on learning new things because the skills that you will acquire. AI is ensuring that what you are learning in textbook is only information. And AI can give you that in a jiffy like this. What you will have to learn is how to make use of that information for a larger benefit, including yourself. So learnability is something, ability to learn new things over and over again is something that you must learn quickly. And another thing that you need to learn is never assume that you have done everything that you can in life. Because I'm telling you at my age, I'm still learning new things. Okay. And the future is like that. The shelf life of your learning is going to reduce. When I was in school, shelf life of for a particular topic was maybe 30 years. It is not even 3 months now. If you look at the manner in which coding and some of those biotechnology courses are changing, the shelf life of the knowledge or skill is very low. So your generation will have to learn a lot of things every year so that you adapt to the changing job situation and career situation. So more than the subject knowledge or your score in CBSE or your score in NEET and all, more important is your ability to learn new things and not have phobia for any new skill set. Because I've seen students force phobias on themselves. Opportunities will be infinite. But if you are flexible in learning new things, you'll probably do much more in life. World Economic Forum is talking that your generation, Parvati, will do at least 15 jobs in next 30 years, in the 30 years of your career.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to have that kind of adaptability. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That's it.
Thank you so much. I think that shelf life thing was very true. It is really like got me thinking. Ma'am, what is your message you would like to share with the students?
So apart from what sir has said, those are real truth of life that shelf life of learning is getting less. And even during our times, it was really less. But these days, students have a lot of opportunities. But coming back to exploring options in India and abroad, what I feel, I always say this thing, students should not follow the trend in the market. They should explore options. They should not run behind the brands. this college is doing good, that university is really doing good. Please go what they are teaching, check their placement records, check what kind of faculty they have. Explore options that give you global skills, not only a limited skill, and without losing sight of your comfort, budget, and future goals. You should keep these things also in mind while exploring. So don't rush into a 4-year international commitment. Maybe you want to go just after 12th to any of the different country, but think about what skills you are getting. Yeah. And commitment should be there. You should understand what you are truly signing up for. The programs like Edge, we are doing it. We offer best of the both worlds, global degree, local foundation. So a student should think global, but begin grounded. It will help a student to understand what kind of learning he will get while studying in different country or a different university or a different college. Or is he getting the same in India as well, without spending so many lakhs or making a hole in their parents' pocket? Going abroad is a fashion these days. So that's what I'm saying. Don't follow the trend. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. With that, I think we'll wind up this session. So thank you, both of you, for sharing your expertise and experience with us today. Today's
Yeah,
discussion, I think, has offered clarity and value and for the future of pathway and twinning programs in India, and especially me being a student. Of course, it has given me great knowledge, and now I have a good idea of what I want to do.
Okay,
And to
great.
our viewers, thank you for joining us. This is Parvati from Delhi Public School, Bangalore East, signing off from EduTV. Keep exploring and keep aiming global. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir. Amol sir, it was pleasure.
It was pleasure meeting you, ma'am, and
Yeah,
best
same
wishes
here.
to you and your friends, Parvati.
Thank
Wish
you,
them.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All the best, Parvati. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you, ma'am.
Anya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shalini ma'am. Thank you, Amol sir.